Here's how you can retrieve your Del Mar College student ID, username, email, and password. Step 1. Go to delmar.edu and click the drop-down menu if you're on mobile and click WEBDMC. If you're on a desktop or laptop, you can find the WEBDMC link at the top of the page. Step 2. Click the Don't Have a Student ID or Username, Get Them Here link on the left of the page. Step 3. You'll see 2 fields that you'll have to fill out: student ID and date of birth. For the student ID portion, if you don't have one, put in your social security number. Step 4. Enter your date of birth in the field and then click the Submit button. Step 5. Read through Del Mar College Computer and Network Resources Statement of Acceptable Use, and once you've read through it, click Accept. Step 6. Save the student ID, username, college email address, and the PIN on the page. Your PIN is your temporary password. Thank you for watching. Let us know what the next how-to video should be in the comments. While the COVID-19 pandemic has fundamentally changed the learning environment at Del Mar College, our number one priority continues to be the health and safety of our students, employees, and guests. Everyone entering our campuses is required to follow strict protocols designed to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Del Mar College adheres to guidelines established by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, as well as directives issued by the federal, state, and local governments. Here's what we're asking of those who visit our facilities. Prior to coming to campus, everyone is asked to take personal accountability for their health and the health of others by conducting a daily self-symptom assessment. Anyone showing symptoms of the virus who has tested positive or has had close contact with someone who has COVID-19 should not come to campus. Once on campus, everyone must practice social distancing. The CDC reports that limiting face-to-face contact with others is the best way to reduce the spread of COVID-19. This means keeping a space of at least 6 feet between yourself and other people, or about 2 arms length. We also ask that you limit using elevators, walkways, and hallways as much as possible, and be sure to use marked entrances and exits. Secondly, wearing a face covering is required on our campuses. This can be a face mask or a cloth covering. According to the CDC, cloth face coverings can slow the spread of COVID-19 and prevent people who may have the virus and not know it from transmitting it to others. If you don't have your own face covering, we will provide one. Prevention hygiene is our third major protocol. We ask that everyone wash their hands frequently and use alcohol-based sanitizer when soap and water are not available. Avoid touching your face, eyes, or nose, and please cover your mouth when coughing or sneezing. Finally, it's important to limit gatherings and meetings while on campus. Meeting remotely should be a first option. If that's not possible, limit the number of participants in face-to-face meetings, practice social distancing, and provide a remote option for those who can't attend. These health and safety protocols can be modified at any time depending on changing conditions. Although access to our campuses is restricted, our physical facilities staff are regularly cleaning and disinfecting classrooms, offices, restrooms, hallways, and all touch points. Del Mar College will continue to take all necessary precautions as long as there is a risk of COVID-19 spread in our community. For more information on our health and safety protocols, visit us on the web at www.delmar.edu/RTC.
Here's a step-by-step process on how to register for classes. Visit delmar.edu and select the WEBDMC tab at the top of the page. Once you have logged in, click on the Students tab and then select Register for Sections. On the next page, select Search and Register for Sections. Use the drop-down boxes to select your search criteria, such as term, subject, and course number. Using your degree plan, enter the subject and course number, or you can search by course subject only. On this page, you can also choose your preferred timeframes, days, and campus locations. Once you submit your search, you will see the applicable search results. Double-check that the course fits your schedule. If you want to enroll in the course, click the Select checkbox. Once selected, scroll down the page and click Submit. Once submitted, the courses will be stored until you select Register or Remove from List. After you make your decision, click Submit to enroll in your preferred courses. Congratulations, you've enrolled. Thanks for watching, and let us know what our next how-to video should be in the comments.
Here's how you can retrieve your Del Mar College student ID, username, email, and password. Step 1. Go to delmar.edu and click the drop-down menu if you're on mobile and click WebDMC. If you're on a desktop or laptop, you can find the WebDMC link at the top of the page. Step 2. Click the Don't Have a Student ID or Username, Get Them Here link on the left of the page. Step 3. You'll see two fields that you'll have to fill out: student ID and date of birth. For the student ID portion, if you don't have one, put in your social security number. Step 4. Enter your date of birth in the field, and then click the Submit button. Step 5. Read through Del Mar College Computer and Network Resources Statement of Acceptable Use, and once you've read through it, click Accept. Step 6. Save the student ID, username, college email address, and the PIN on the page. Your PIN is your temporary password. Thank you for watching. Let us know what the next how-to video should be in the comments. While the COVID-19 pandemic has fundamentally changed the learning environment at Del Mar College, our number one priority continues to be the health and safety of our students, employees, and guests. Everyone entering our campuses is required to follow strict protocols designed to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Del Mar College adheres to guidelines established by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, as well as directives issued by the federal, state, and local governments. Here's what we're asking of those who visit our facilities. Prior to coming to campus, everyone is asked to take personal accountability for their health and the health of others by conducting a daily self-symptom assessment. Anyone showing symptoms of the virus who has tested positive or has had close contact with someone who has COVID-19 should not come to campus. Once on campus, everyone must practice social distancing. The CDC reports that limiting face-to-face contact with others is the best way to reduce the spread of COVID-19. This means keeping a space of at least 6 feet between yourself and other people, or about 2 arms length. We also ask that you limit using elevators, walkways, and hallways as much as possible, and be sure to use marked entrances and exits. Secondly, wearing a face covering is required on our campuses.
Viking Nation, how are y'all doing?
This could be a face mask or a cloth
This is Joseph
covering.
Rees, Director of
According to the
Financial Aid,
CDC, cloth
coming to you live from Del Mar College office. Kind of locked in here by myself, trying to help as many students as I can navigate the maze that is financial aid. So we just want to spend this time, just kind of updating you on what's going on, how we can help pay for college, and maybe answer any questions you may have over the chat line there. And I also want to welcome one of my staff, one of my team members, Ms. Kayla Lopez.
Sorry, my mic was muted. So hi guys, my name is Kayla Lopez, and I'm the Financial Aid Outreach Coordinator here at Del Mar College. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are excited to take your questions. So it looks like there is already a question on the screen, and I will pass it back to Joseph so he can get us started.
Okay, so the question we're getting is, I'm only taking 6 hours this semester. How does that affect my financial aid package? Well, I know there's a misnomer out there that you have to take 12 hours to get financial aid, and that's definitely not true. Basically, what 6 hours does is, if I'm getting a Pell Grant, and let's say it was $2,000, by taking 6 hours, I'll only get half of that Pell Grant, which would be $1,000. Now, keep in mind that your tuition is actually half the price, so it's going to cost you less. So it's okay if you get a little bit less Pell Grant. Now, if you're receiving, a Texas Public Education Grant, or if you've been awarded a Texas Education Opportunity Grant, or TEOG, you can still receive those on 6 hours. 3 hours, it's only Pell that you could receive if you actually had Pell awarded. But keep in mind, if you've had student loans in the past, or if you want to have a student loan this semester, you're going to have to be in a minimum of 6 hours. So 6 hours is always a good rule of thumb. So if you want to be and have time to kind of get this COVID thing, online thing perfected, then that's okay. You can definitely do that and still get your aid. Another question coming across, I'm having trouble finishing my FAFSA because I cannot locate my 2018 tax information through the IRS website. What else can I do because I want to apply for financial aid? Well, that's a really good question. You should not have to necessarily have your tax return in front of you. By completing the FAFSA, it gives you the option to do IRS data retrieval, where you go from the FAFSA to IRS, confirm some data, and you can actually transfer an encrypted version of your tax return, where it just says transferred. You're not going to see any numbers. This is just trying to be as identity safe as possible, trying to keep information private. So you don't have to have your tax returns in front of you. It's really important that for you to do the data retrieval. And even if you're selected for verification, by virtue of doing the data retrieval, all you would need to provide would be an institutional verification worksheet. You wouldn't have to worry about tax returns or So you may want to try that. Try to do the data retrieval by completing the FAFSA that way. So before we get the next question, I just kind of wanted to share some information with you. On the main financial aid website, maybe, I don't know, I'll let Kayla actually show that to you when she shares her screen. I'm a little tech challenged, so I can't do that myself right now, but you can actually apply for CARES. There's Kayla. So you can actually apply for a CARES application. So on the main financial aid application, which is delmar.edu, becoming a Viking/afford, or you can just go onto the main website under new student or current student and look for financial aid services. If you notice right here, you can actually see download CARES Act emergency aid application. If you're needing assistance and maybe you haven't received a CARES Act application yet, please submit one of these applications. As long as you've submitted a FAFSA, as long as you have graduated from high school with a high school diploma or GED, as long as you are meeting, I don't know if I mentioned it, satisfactory academic progress, you may be eligible. It doesn't matter if your income was too high in 2018. This is not an income based award. So please, if you need assistance to maybe help cover some classes, we may be able to assist you, but only if you haven't received one yet. If you've already received one, we want to try to help other students that maybe have not received any monies or don't have funds for the fall semester. So we want to give them first priority. So if you submit the application to Delmar financial aid at delmar.edu, then they'll send them over to one of our staff members and they'll check some things out. And as long as you meet the criteria, you'll receive those actual funds. The amounts will vary depending on a lot of things, but we won't go into those details. But please, if you're needing a little extra help, please submit that application. So I'm going to pass it on over to Kayla.
All right, guys. So the update that I have for you is that this upcoming fall semester, it was recently determined for just, especially since we're not sure exactly when we're going to be back on campus, and just for the safety of our students, we are not going to have any on-campus work-study jobs this fall semester. Now, it's possible that for spring that could change, but as of right now, just in case any of you guys were wondering or curious or maybe planning on looking for on-campus jobs, we are not going to have work study this fall. So definitely, if you have any questions about that, you're more than welcome to let us know. We hadn't sent out any fall work study awards yet either, so there shouldn't be any awards out there as of now, but just a heads up on that in case you guys had any questions. Now, while I am here, sorry, that was my dog and he dropped something. So while I am here, I am, as always, going to just go over the financial aid application with you guys, how to access it. So if you guys go to fafsa.gov or studentaid.gov, it's going to bring you to this screen right here. It is not too late. I'm still getting those emails from students with questions asking, is it too late to apply for financial aid for fall? And the answer is no. So you guys are more than welcome to complete the 2020-2021 FAFSA application. If you already have an ID, you can click log in, use your FSA ID and password, and get started using 2018 tax information. Now, if you have never done a FAFSA before, this is going to be your first time, you will click start here. It will then ask you to create an FSA ID and password. You'll be able to do that and then go ahead and get started with that application, again, using 2018 tax information. Now, looks like that's taking a little while to download. Okay, right here. So you would just click I am the student. It would ask you to log in. And again, if you don't have an ID, you'll click create one, and it will then allow you to create an FSA ID and password. Now, lastly, guys, just in case, especially right now that we're doing a lot of, virtual, information sessions, and also just getting you guys that information via email and everything, it is if you guys have a Twitter, it is a really good idea to follow us, Del Mar College Financial Aid Services. We do, especially now, have been starting to post a little bit more, and we are going to try to utilize this resource even more so in the future, or going from now to the future, so that we can get information sent out to you guys. So any updates with financial aid, any changes, for example, that work study information is going to be posted here, if not later today, then definitely by the end of the week. And just to give you guys another resource, like I said, for you to get that information about up-to-date financial aid changes and just anything going on with us. So again, it is @DMCFAS if any of you guys have a Twitter. We also have a Facebook page. It didn't let me view it right now. I was trying to click it and it was making me sign in and stuff, so I'll do that hopefully for the next live. But you can also search us on Facebook, Financial Aid Services at Del Mar College, for information via Facebook as well. So I will go ahead and pass it back to Joseph.
So there may be some questions out there. Is it too late to submit my verification paperwork? Is it too late to register for classes? Is it? Absolutely not. We have plenty of time. I know that August 24th is right around the corner, so you do have to be diligent with your submitting documents. But if there's questions regarding, well, how do I submit them? We have a fax number, which is here at the East Campus is 361-698-2017. We also can accept documentations via our email, which is financialaid@delmar.edu. So it's really important. Don't wait. If you have to submit documents, well, how do I know if I need to submit documents? You can definitely go to WEBDMC, look at your financial aid checklist, which maybe Kayla can kind of show you in that direction here in a second, to kind of find out where do I look to see what I need as far as submitting documents. Now, another question just came down the line. Is it possible to apply for any kind of grant without FAFSA? Do you have to fill out the FAFSA for CARES Act funding? And the question is yes. One of the federal requirements is we must have a completed FAFSA application on file. Students must be high school graduate. Student must be maintaining satisfactory academic progress. So there are some checks that we have to, checks and balances that we have to look through to award you, but we would welcome your application. But yes, you have to complete a FAFSA, and it doesn't matter what your income was. You could have made $1 million in 2018, and if you have, I want to know you. I want to be your friend. But definitely, you can fill out a FAFSA if you need a little extra help right now, because maybe you're not working, or maybe you're working less than you did before. Just get that FAFSA done with your 2018 tax information for 2021, and then once we receive it and you submit your application, we check off a few more boxes, then we can definitely award you some CARES Act money. So yes, we still have money, but we have to have a FAFSA on file to award you. So now back to Kayla.
All right, guys. So as Joseph mentioned, I can definitely show you where and how to access your financial aid checklist. So this right here is the Financial Aid Services webpage on the Del Mar College website. So for those of you who are wondering what our contact info in, also another question that I just remembered that we've been getting a lot is how students have been asking, how do I submit documents, whether it's verification, whether it's just whatever forms that it is that we're requesting from you guys, how do we submit it? So what the best thing to do right now, 3 options. You have fax, so you can fax it over to us, you can mail it over to us, or you can scan and email it to us as well. So right here, what I'm sharing with you guys is our fax number. We also have our financial aid email right here. And then, of course, if you wanted to mail it to us, you can mail it to Del Mar College, and that information is located right here on the bottom of the page. So since we are close to the public right now, you are not able to come and just drop off the form, but we definitely do have these other methods of submitting the documents available to you guys to hopefully make it as easy as possible. Now, another thing Let's come up here. So right whenever you get, I'm going to come to the Del Mar College homepage. If you click right here for WebDMC, that's going to lead you to a login page. You guys will be able to click login right here. You will enter your user ID and password. And then once you are logged in, it will give you the option to access your financial aid checklist. This is where you guys are going to want to go to view your awards, to if there's anything that needs to be accepted, to accept it, and also just to check on your financial aid status in general. So that is how you are going to access your financial aid checklist, by clicking right there on WebDMC. Also, if you have not yet logged into your email, I encourage you to do so. A lot of really good information and correspondences have been going out in the last couple of weeks and will continue to be emailed to you guys as well. So you'll definitely want to make sure to access that email so that you don't miss out on any of that important information. Also, a really quick trick on getting to the financial aid webpage. If you click on Viking Toolbox, come down to financial aid, it will take you directly to our page where you can access all of our information, including all of our forms. So if you come to forms and other documents, click right there. All of our forms for 2021 are located here. You guys can then complete them, save them to your computer, and then email those forms completed back to us. So let me come back and yeah, I will go ahead and pass it back to Joseph.
So just to kind of recap everyone, you know, we want you guys to know that definitely learning is going to be a little bit different this fall semester, but we want to assure you that the financial aid office is here to serve our students. Yes, I know that sometimes emails come in and it takes a couple of days for a response, but I promise you we're working diligently to try to get all your questions answered. Also, we are answering phones remotely wherever we are from our homes, and sometimes when you call and you're the next caller, it goes straight to voicemail. So we apologize for that, but that was the only solution we had at this time. So we are working on that to try to better serve you. So if you do have questions, we don't want you to hesitate. We want you to continue to submit those, and we will work daily to try and do our best to answer your questions, to get you all the help you need. It is definitely not too late. Even if you haven't filled out a FAFSA application, like Kayla mentioned, absolutely you can still fill out that application. Get it in, get it submitted, and we can get it processed. It's a lot quicker now than it was back in the Stone Age when I was in college. You can definitely fill out a FAFSA application, and within 7 business days, potentially could see an award. Back when I was in school, it took 3 or 4 months to see an award. So definitely it's important for you to get that application in. So we have another question that came across the ticker here. I have a question. Can someone submitted a CARES Act application in mid-June and never heard anything back? Sometimes I'm not going to lie, those applications may get lost in the shuffle. So the best thing to do would be to resubmit that application to financialaid@delmar.edu. Indicate that this is your second time submitting the application. But also keep in mind that you need to definitely check your email, like Kayla mentioned, because sometimes we correspond. Could be that maybe you weren't eligible because you weren't meeting SAP, or maybe there was other issues that we weren't able to award you. So definitely look into your email. We should be communicating there. But if not, if you have not heard anything, you've checked your email and there's nothing, by all means, please submit that application again. We still have funds available. We can help you in the fall semester, or even if it's more pressing here in summer 2 session if you're enrolled. So now back to Kayla. She has a special guest. No? Okay, sorry.
All right, guys. So, as Joseph mentioned, we are definitely here, available to you guys. I know I always stress it, can't stress it enough. If you do call and you do happen to get one of our voicemails, please make sure that you leave a callback number. Sometimes the phone doesn't tell us the number, or just for different reasons. If you want us to call you back, definitely give us your phone number so that we can do so. Typically, I know that everybody, checking emails with the phone calls and stuff, it may take maybe 1 to 2 days to get back to you, but somebody will definitely be reaching out to you. I also always encourage students to contact the Del Mar College switchboard. If they're not sure what number to call, I know on our webpage, there's a list of financial aid assistance that you can choose from. And so if you're not sure, or you're just, wanting to just have that one number to rely on, it is going to be the Del Mar College switchboard number, which is 361-698-1200. You can ask to speak with financial aid, and they will definitely patch you through to a financial aid representative. So just know that that is an option for you as well. And since they're the switchboard, that goes for anything. If you want to ask to speak with business office, with registrar, whoever it is, they will be able to put you through to that department. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to wrap it up and then pass it back to Joseph so that he can kind of lead us out. But I really quickly want to mention to you guys, let me double check, next Wednesday, 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. we do have a virtual registration rally. So we did have one of these last week. It was super successful. A lot of really great information was given. So we're going to bring it back for round 2 to do another virtual registration rally. And that is going to include financial aid reps, or a financial aid rep, which is going to be myself. We are going to have reps from advising, from admissions, and then we're also going to have a special guest who is really eager to say hi and just show support for you guys. And so again, that is going to be Wednesday at 9 a.m. and at 12 p.m. right here on the Del Mar College financial aid page, and that will be live streamed as well. You guys will be able to submit your questions. If you have any questions that you want to ask, make sure you get them ready so that we can hopefully get those questions answered for you guys and get you assisted. So with that said, not sure if he has any more information to give you guys on new updates, but I'm going to pass it back to Joseph.
So folks, again, just to reiterate, I mean, there's always ways to, and I know there was a question that came across about additional aid. I'll always look at the foundation's website to see if there's any fund availability, maybe emergency funds that you might be able to receive to help you maybe finance your education this fall. Definitely, it's not an abundance of money, but there is some opportunity there could be to. So please don't just settle. Don't just necessarily give up the chance to apply for additional aid. So please always look at the foundation website, and if you're going onto the website, you can go out and actually look, you can, in the little search bar, you can type foundation, it takes you there. And if there's funds available, they're going to keep that website very well updated. Now, another thing for incoming freshmen or even current students that are here and you're getting private scholarship checks, I know there's been some questions about, well, how do those scholarships get applied to my tuition if we're working remotely? What I can tell you is there are a few staff members limited in the buildings because we have to continue functioning to help you. So I want you to note that if a private scholarship check is mailed to us, we check the mail twice a week, and I'm sure every other department does as well. And if a scholarship check comes to us, what we do is make a copy of it and we turn it into the business office. The business office would then in turn get it to foundation, and then they will actually help apply that to your tuition balance. So we are still processing private scholarship checks. Also, in case you're a private loan holder, same process will still apply. They come via the mail, and then we will make the necessary arrangements to get them over to the business office to have those funds applied to your tuition account. So absolutely. Also, another question just came across the board about CARES Act funding. Is it a one-time thing? As of today, at this point, yes, it's a one-time award. We want to help other students that maybe didn't take advantage of the opportunity to receive those funds. If we get additional funding, most definitely we can reconsider you later. So with that said, actually, Kayla has one more thing to tell us. I'm going to pass it back over to her.
All right, guys, so another thing to note, so we actually have also been having a lot of students ask questions about loans. So if you are interested in receiving a loan for this upcoming fall, the best thing that you can do to start the process is going to be to log into your financial aid checklist. On the left side, you'll be able to choose from the drop-down menu, and there will be an option that says request a new loan. You will complete that request form, and then once that is completed, it will be sent to processing. At that point, one of our loan technicians will be able to award you what you're eligible for or what you requested, and then send you the next steps that are going to be needed to receive that loan. So again, I know that loans, we don't just automatically offer them to everybody. You do have to complete that loan request form. And so it is available on your financial aid checklist, drop down menu to your left, complete that form there, and then we'll be able to assist you with next steps. It's also, I encourage you to do it the sooner the better, just because it does take a couple of days to process. It's not like you do it Monday, it's ready Tuesday. Unfortunately, it does have to go through processing, and then there is time for you guys to do those requirements needed for the loan as well. Another thing, if you are a new student at Del Mar, you are going to want to make sure that you select your disbursement option with the on Viking Pay. So pretty much what's going to happen is, let's say you're receiving financial assistance, it covers the cost of your tuition and fees, and you have some monies left over that you're going to use for the rest of your educational expenses. So what you're going to want to do is make sure to log in to your Viking Pay to then select how you want to receive your refund. If you want it direct deposited into your personal bank account, you're more than welcome to do that. The other option is going to be to have a check mailed home to you or mailed to an address that you provide. So you guys are going to want to make sure that you do have that set up, because if you don't, then pretty much we're not going to know where to send your monies, and that could result in a delay of your financial aid being received. So definitely make sure that you get on top of that and that you do get that method, that option selected. And so with that, I will pass it back to Joseph.
So another question that we received regarding CARE. So if I submitted an application back in June, do we need to reapply? If you received the funds, no, there's no need to apply. If you did not receive the funding and didn't receive a response, most definitely. Sometimes depending on how the application was received, it came in the fax. Sometimes it doesn't get to the person processing the application, so it could need to be resubmitted. So if you did not receive any CARES Act money, but you submitted an application, I would definitely resubmit. But if you did receive money, then there would be no need to resubmit at this time, because we're trying to help students that haven't received any CARES Act funds. Another question just came across the board: are remedial classes covered under financial aid grants or loans? Absolutely. Remedial courses are just like regular college courses. It's just a kind of like a preview to the the actual college level course. So it's kind of helping students get back on track who maybe haven't had a math class in 10 years or 15 years. So absolutely, developmental courses do get covered. Now you have to keep in mind that it's limited to only 10 classes. So if you've had to take more than 10 developmental courses, then no, financial aid would not be able to cover those. But as long as you're under that, if it's like your first couple of classes and they are developmental, absolutely, financial aid can help pay for those. And also loans. You can receive grants, you can receive loans. They are counted as enrollment because you do have to submit homework and act like a student as well, whether it's remedial or college level courses. So yes, they will cover it. With that said, I just want to again reiterate to all the Vikings out there, if you are really interested in getting some retraining or coming back to Del Mar to finish up an associate's degree, we encourage you in the financial aid office to submit your application via FAFSA www.fafsa.gov to maybe see what you might qualify for. Definitely, if your employment status has recently changed in 2019, you are welcome to submit the 2020-2021 FAFSA with the 2018 tax information, and then submit a special circumstances. If for some reason your 2019 income is not what it was before, we would be able to make some adjustments to reflect, some additional, additional changes, and maybe qualify for some additional loans. Now, just to kind of mention another question came across the board. Are there certain financial aid awards that are contingent for eligibility, and how SAP will run again soon? So the satisfactory academic progress will be calculated again at the end of summer. So definitely those that are in summer 2, finish strong, because you want to make sure to do your best in these classes to hopefully help you continue maintaining eligibility to be able to receive your financial aid. Another question has come across the board would be, for special circumstances, I have not received the unemployment letter from the workforce. Is there another document I could turn in? If you received a layoff notice or email or something letting you know from your employer that you would, unfortunately they could not retain your services, that would definitely suffice as well. Just something letting the financial aid office know that you no longer are employed with that employer. Sometimes even the employer is willing to write a letter stating that, due to, reduction of force, we had to reduce labor expense, whatever. But students are definitely able to get some documentation from their previous employer so they can get additional help. So if you don't have any confirmation from your unemployment benefits, you can definitely submit a statement from your employer indicating, or any kind of notice that you received, or something that says final paycheck stub, something indicating that you're no longer employed. What we can do is base our decision on your current circumstance rather than how you were doing in 2018. But keep in mind, it has to be a minimum of 10 weeks. So if you've been, you just got laid off last month, it doesn't constitute a special circumstance. But if it was 3 months ago that you were laid off, full 3 months, then most definitely we could consider your special circumstances appeal. So with that in mind, stay strong, Viking Nation. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep safe, please. Wear your mask, wash your hands. Whatever you have to do to stay healthy out there, because we definitely want to be able to welcome you back as soon as we open our doors again to our amazing Viking students. So we're here working for you. That will never stop as long as we're able to continue providing services. We will continue doing that. So we want to thank you for what you've done so far, and please don't stop submitting your documents, calling our offices, and we will try to get to every single student and meet all of your needs. So thank you once again, and stay safe out there.
Here's how you can retrieve your Del Mar College student ID, username, email, and password. Step 1. Go to delmar.edu and click the drop-down menu if you're on mobile and click WebDMC. If you're on a desktop or laptop, you can find the WebDMC link at the top of the page. Step 2. Click the Don't Have a Student ID or Username, Get Them Here link on the left of the page. Step 3. You'll see 2 fields that you'll have to fill out: Student ID and Date of Birth. For the Student ID portion, if you don't have one, put in your Social Security number. Step 4. Enter your date of birth in the field, and then click the Submit button. Step 5. Read through Del Mar College Computer and Network Resources Statement of Acceptable Use, and once you've read through it, click Accept. Step 6. Save the student ID, username, college email address, and the PIN on the page. Your PIN is your temporary password. Thank you for watching. Let us know what the next how-to video should be in the comments.
While the COVID-19 pandemic has fundamentally changed the learning environment at Del Mar College, our number one priority continues to be the health and safety of our students, employees, and guests. Everyone entering our campuses is required to follow strict protocols designed to